Imagine you are a corrupt politician. You just accepted a $50 million bribe. Congratulations. There is just one problem. You can't put it in your bank account. You can't buy a mansion with it. You can't even tell your wife about it, because the second that money touches anything official, you are done. So what do? You do what every corrupt billionaire, crime lord, and shady government official has been doing for decades. You make it disappear. And then you make it reappear, clean, legal, untouchable. Before we get into this, do you think your government is hiding dirty money right now? Drop a yes or no in the comments. Let's find out what Behind Billions thinks. Stay with me until the end. Because the system these people built is so clever. It is almost genius. What even is dirty money? First things first. What makes money dirty simple? It came from somewhere it shouldn't have. Drug trafficking. Corruption, bribery, tax evasion. Human trafficking money that the government never taxed. Money that nobody is supposed to know about. The problem is, money talks. Every time it moves through a bank, a business, an investment, it leaves a trail. A digital footprint that investigators can follow. So the goal is simple. Take money that screams, "I came from a crime," and turn it into money that whispers, "I am perfectly normal. Please don't look at me." That is the whole game, and the people playing it are winning. Stage 1, hide it. Step 1 is the riskiest. You have a pile of cash. Physical, untraceable, dangerous. And you need to get it into the financial system without anyone asking questions. Here is how they do it. Method 1, fake businesses. You open a restaurant, or a car wash, or a nail salon. Something that handles lots of cash every day. Now you mix your dirty money with real earnings. Claim 400 customers when you had 40. Deposit it all as normal business income. The government sees a thriving small business. You see a washing machine for your millions. Method 2, smurfing. No, not the little blue cartoon characters. Smurfing is when you break your giant pile of cash into dozens of tiny deposits. Each one carefully just under the amount that triggers bank reporting. In the US, that threshold is $10,000. So you make deposits of $9,800, $9,500, $9,750, different banks, different accounts, different days. Sometimes they literally hire people to physically go bank to bank. Making deposits all day, boring job. Very profitable crime. Stage 2. Lose it. Money is in the system now, but investigators can still trace it back to you. So stage 2, make it impossible to follow. Wire money from Bank A in Country 1 to a shell company in Country 2, which loans it to another shell company in Country 3, which invests it in Country 4, which sends it back to your personal account in Country 1. Clean. A shell company, by the way, is a company that exists on paper, no employees, no office, no product, just a name and a bank account. And in places like the Cayman Islands, British Virgin Islands, and yes, Delaware. Right there in the United States of America, you can create one for a few $100s, and nobody needs to know your real name. So investigators follow the trail and find a company owned by another company, owned by a trust, managed by a lawyer, in a country with strict bank secrecy laws. Dead end. Every time. Stage 3. Spend it. Money is hidden, untraceable. Now what? Now you spend it. Like a normal person. Real estate is the favorite. Buy a luxury condo in Miami through a shell company. Hold it for a year. Sell it. Boom. Your $50 million bribe is now profit from a property investment. Perfectly legal, perfectly clean. Art is another favorite. A painting sells for $50 million. Nobody checks if it was actually worth that. Nobody asks where the money came from. The art world is notoriously secretive, which is exactly why criminals love it. Bowie expensive art, sell it later. Dirty money in, clean money out. Plus you get something nice to hang on your wall while you wait. The scale nobody talks about here is where it gets truly insane. The United Nations estimates that between $800 billion and $2 trillion is laundered globally every year. But that is just what gets laundered. The total amount of dirty money moving through the global economy closer to $7 trillion every single year. $7 trillion, that is almost the entire GDP of Japan and Germany combined, disappearing every year. And how much do investigators recover? 1% known criminals are running a 99% success rate. In any other industry, we would call that innovation. In this one, they just call it Tuesday. Who is actually taking it here is the part nobody wants to say out loud. This is not just street criminals and drug lords. The biggest players in this game are governments, corporations, banks. The same banks that lecture you about financial responsibility have been fined billions of dollars for laundering dirty money. HSBC paid $1.9 billion in fines for laundering Mexican drug cartel money. Deutsche Bank paid $630 million for helping Russian oligarchs move dirty money out of Russia. Standard Chartered paid $1.1 billion. These are not small operations. These are the world's biggest financial institutions, helping the world's dirtiest money look clean, and their punishment: a fine, which they paid and went back to business. $7 trillion vanishing every year through fake businesses, shell companies, luxury condos, expensive paintings, and the occasional very cooperative bank. The system was built to catch this. Laws, regulations, international agreements, all designed to stop dirty money. And yet, 99% gets through every single year. Maybe the system isn't broken. Maybe it was never meant to work. If this changed how you see money, like, subscribe and share behind billions. Because next week we are pulling back the curtain on another empire hiding in plain sight.